Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome back from the Memorial Day weekend. We're going to get started here with our pre-market analysis, but first I do want to thank all the new people who have joined us here. If you have any questions, please jump on. Don't hesitate to jump on the mic or ask some questions in the chat room. Really happy to have you guys here. I think there's a lot of really valuable information at your fingertips now, not only just the course, but also all the study sessions that we have saved, which is basically a mini course in itself. And so again, just want to thank you guys for being here. So let's go ahead and jump to our ultra high time frames. We have kind of a unique situation this morning. It only happens 3-4 times a year, and that's when we have our quarterly, our monthly, our weekly, and our daily all closing at the same time. And so jumping to our quarterly chart here, you can see that this bar that closed for on May 31st here, this bar has basically closed and showed no signs of weakness in this push. Really no signs of any exhaustion in the push. And now we have this new quarterly candle that will develop over the next 3 months. So there's really not much we can say about it right now. But right now, pretty much the same story on our quarterly that we've been saying for the last month or two now. We jump to our monthly. We have this nice, beautiful doji candle on the monthly, super bullish. You can see we tried to come down and break that trend line, this really strong trend line that we've been following since the sell-off of COVID. And we were able to hold it and then push all the way back up and close just above where we open. So looking pretty bullish there on the monthly. And then again, the new candle now has 4 weeks to develop, so we can't say too much about that right now. But important to point out that our ultra high time frames here have no signs of exhaustion, just like we've been saying for weeks, if not months now. On our weekly, we have our weekly close here, which just confirms the potential bullish case coming into this new week here. Remember, at the end of May 21st, when we came into this week on what must have been May 23rd or something like that, we said there was a potential bullish indication. And I think during this week, when this candle was forming, we did say we had the potential, if we did not come down and break this low at 40.29 we had the potential indications of a bullish divergence. And sure enough, from that point, we've now pushed. Now, we have not made it all the way to the all-time highs, but we're only just about 10 points from that right now. And so it would not be surprising here at the beginning of this week if we come up to test the all-time high, if not continue past it. So ultra high time frames all look very, very bullish. No real indications of exhaustion in the push. On our daily here, what I noticed, and this was at the end of yesterday, when I looked at the charts, I did notice this really clear bull divergence. And so since the close, which was basically about 10 a.m. on the Pacific coast here, since that time, we did have somewhat of a bullish indication here on our daily chart. And, you can see now in this new candle that has all day to develop, we have at least got this push just to, again, 10 points below the all-time high. And so right now, no signs of exhaustion on the daily, just this one bullish indication here off of the low we made from yesterday. We jump to our 4-hour. We have the same exact indication here off of that low that we made yesterday, off of 41.90. And so our 4-hour is agreeing with what the daily is saying. We just have somewhat of a potential bearish indication here as we push. So if we go back to the daily, you can also somewhat make the argument, but remember, this candle has all day to form. When we go to the 4-hour, this one's going to close in about 45 minutes here, and we do have the potential of a bearish indication, which could just be an exhaustion pattern, right? Because when we're in our bull push here, at least from the perspective of my trading system, if we are in making these higher lows, higher highs, you're going to get exhaustion patterns off of the highs as it pushes, telling you the potential for a small correction. And so that could be what is kind of being indicated here. But we do have all of our intermediate and short time frames to look at. And we are currently seeing a nice bullish indication off the lows on our weekly. And then when we jump to our daily and our 4-hour, some pretty clear bullish indications off of the low we made from yesterday's market. We jump to our 60-minute or 1-hour chart. Definitely no signs of exhaustion up here, which is a good thing, right? So the 4-hour shows the potential. The daily shows a little bit of potential, but has all day. The 60-minute is not showing any of those signs, which is a good thing. So right now, just looking off of that overnight low, or I'm sorry, yesterday's low, where we got that bullish indication, we don't necessarily have a beautiful setup here on the hourly. If we go all the way back to the swing low, which if you look from the 4-hour is where we got our divergence. If we do that on the hourly, we do have that same indication. So if we come all the way back here and come up to the low we made from yesterday, we definitely do have that divergence. What I preferably would have liked to have seen was maybe push down here in price and then the indicator pushes up a little bit. So a nice classic divergence there. But nonetheless, there is divergence also on the hourly, and we do not have any clear exhaustion patterns up at the highs that we're making right now. Now you can see this hourly candle, huge doji to the upside, and on pretty much 50% of the candle there. So we really have to break above 28.25 here in order for this bullish case to really continue through. And holding below that might indicate a little bit of a pullback, but no real clear indications for some type of major correction down right now. And so we're going to stick with that bias so far and jump to our intermediate time frames here. Give me one moment. And jump to our 30-minute chart here. And great, awesome. We have a little bit of an exhaustion pattern here, and we got the pullback from our 30-minute perspective. So we pushed up into that 28.25, and then we did have this pullback, which was for a little less than 10 points so far. But now we're starting to get some bullish indications. So we're going to have to kind of watch this low here at 21.50, because if that holds, then we'll have that 30-minute indication holding as well. Outside of that, right now, what I do want to point out, and we might want to just go to the 10-minute for this, which I think I'm going to do here. We go to our 10-minute. I just want to confirm that we have this bullish indication off of that low as well. And the 10-minute is confirming that, at least from the previous swing lows here. We come up and we make a much lower low here on RVI. So from this low here, we do have some bullish indications on our intermediate time frames. And then the high did get that bearish indication, but you have to remember, in such a protracted uptrend, you're going to get bearish indications off the highs, telling you, at least at that moment when this candle closed at 4:30 Pacific time, just a few hours ago, it told you the potential for a pullback, and you got that pullback, just about 7 points, or what happened? What was it? 6 points. And now we're bouncing, incidentally, right off of all the resistance we had in the pre-market session here. So in the overnight, we came up right to 22.25, which this level has been on our charts for probably weeks now. Came right up to it, found resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 candles worth, finally broke through, got a bearish indication off of 28.25, pulled back and pretty much bounced right at 22.25 off that previous resistance. And now we have that bullish indication on that pullback on our 10-minute and our 30-minute, which is a good indication that we're going to come up and test 28.25 here in the next few minutes. So this morning we have a pretty strong bull bias. Ideally, we'd like to stay above this 22.25 region because we're starting to get some pretty decent bullish indications off of that low. And We can jump down to our short time frames and just kind of see what's going on in the local area here. See if we have any exhaustion in the current push. Definitely do not have any exhaustion there. We do have this nice kind of flat and candle here, but a push down on RVI, so bullishness there from 2250. And then off of this low that we found, the bullish indication on our 10-minute and our 30-minute, you can make the argument all the way back to that swing low that we did on the other time frames that you'd have that bullishness. But like I tell everyone, ideally I want to see something right in the local region here, and I don't necessarily have a beautiful bull signal. So we don't have kind of a what would you call maybe like nationwide indication. We don't have 3-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, 1 hour or 4-hour daily all giving us bullish from this low, but we do have some indications. So until this low breaks at 2175, we do have this bullish case coming into the open. And remember when I said on the 60-minute, as well as some of the other charts that have that bullish indication up here, we need to break above 28.25 to have a little bit more confidence in the bullish bias this morning. So we'll have to kind of watch that. And we do have another 10-15 minutes here until the open. And so if things change at all, we will definitely kind of take this move by move. Remember, we have to be nimble as traders. We do not want to box ourselves into only one scenario, because in just the 1 second, the whole market could change. And so we have to be ready to kind of adapt to what's happening in the market. And although we have somewhat of a bullish indication here off the 22.25 area, looking to break 28.25 for more of a bullish case, we have to be ready to kind of short or long, depending on what our signals are telling us.